Hi, I'm Alex. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am a 24-year-old data analyst in the greater New York City area, specifically in Northern Jersey, and I work in education policy. It's what I am the most passionate about, and I hope one day I can get my PhD in ed policy and then just research it for the rest of my life. So this video is going to be my best and worst purchases of 2021. I picked my top 5 of each. I spent a lot of money in 2021, which I'm not the most proud of saying. I had a really bad financial year in terms of personal spending. I spent way too much money, so going through and deciding which things were the most worth it versus the most not, or probably the poorest financial decisions, was something that I wanted to do. So just like a quick overview of what the year looked like. So at the beginning of the year, I was finishing up my master's program, and I had a fellowship placement as a junior economist with the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development, which was an amazing job. I loved working there. It was super cool seeing the things they were doing, especially because I was working with a lot of the small business loans and grants that were going out because of COVID, and I thought that was a really awesome experience. We started the year living here in North Jersey, so we didn't move at all this year, which was good, but we did spend a lot of time traveling. I added up how much time in total I spent at Disney this year, and it was just around 2 months, like 2 full months, as somebody who lives in New Jersey, that I spent in Orlando this year. So a lot of time and money went into that, but none of those trips are going to end up on my worst purchases. It's Disney. I always love going, although I will say my trip when I went down for the 50th anniversary could probably end up on my worst purchases list, because I missed my flight back, had to pay for a $215 hotel room for the night, and all the stuff that cost way more money than it ever needed to, because I missed my flight. So that could end up on my worst purchases. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting off, my number 1 purchase of the year, and if you're not new here, this will be no surprise to you, is my Walt Disney World annual pass. This cost me almost exactly $1,500. It was a lot of money. Means I can get into the park whenever I want. Since I got it, I have had 9 park days and still have many trips to come. So definitely worth it. I also paid for the photo pass to be added onto it so I could have pictures to remember my trips by. And I think that that is well worth the $100 as well, as long as you're going for more than a week. So the first thing on my worst purchases list is going to be the Walt Life subscription box. These subscription boxes, I will say, if you're not in the market for a subscription box that only sends you Disney Parks merchandise, which is what I was looking for, and I guess it wasn't clear, they're pretty good with small stuff. It's pretty inexpensive, but I will say I had a really hard time canceling the subscription, which is part of the reason it's on my worst purchases. I think in total I ended up spending probably $200 with this company for something that I am never going to use a single product they sent me, because I don't think it's good, and had a problem with the customer service, so I couldn't get it canceled earlier, which lands them here on my worst purchases list. The next thing on my best purchases list I can't physically show because it is, well, I guess I could physically show it, it's upstairs, but my master's degree. I finished that this year, so I paid my last round of tuition and fees, and for graduation fees and things of that nature. So I have my physical degree now, which is great. But that education gave me such a larger perspective on what I wanted to do, shifted my mindset from the finance side of things to more the data statistics side of things and what I was interested in. I have a master's degree in public policy as well as a graduate certificate in public financial management, both from the University of Connecticut. I loved my time there. I'm so happy I have my degree and that I have all the information that I have now in my job. I also took a lot of like outside courses in my degree program that I think prepared me really well for the future. So I would definitely put my education on my best purchases list. But going along with that, for the worst purchases, I'm gonna add my Grad Cap and Hood. When you get a master's degree, you get a hood and it's super fun, but I went and bought it to take one picture in it and haven't touched it again, and I'm sure will not touch it again. I did not walk in graduation. I was at Disney, actually at Animal Kingdom at the time of my graduation ceremony, so I was not there. So I paid $75 for this hood and this cap for no reason. Big waste of money. I wish I hadn't done it and that I wasn't like feeling like I needed to, but here we are. I did it and that's that. The next best purchase I also can't show just because it's upstairs in my craft room and I didn't want to bring it all down here, but I got a Cricut at the very beginning of this year, I think on like January 2nd, and I love my Cricut. I have the Explorer 2, and emerald green, and I love it. I use it all the time. I love the things it creates, and I think I've definitely gotten my use out of it in the last year. I don't know that I would add all of the accessories I purchased for it to my like best purchases list, but that was more just like I was excited. I thought I needed all these things. I didn't necessarily need all of them, but I have used them all, so that's okay. Moving on to my next worst purchase, I'm gonna have to go with these Birkenstocks. I love my Birkenstocks, don't get me wrong. They are so comfortable. They're way more comfortable than any other sandal. They have way more arch support. I was able to sprint in them the last time we were at Disney, so I mean the fact that you can run in a pair of sandals is incredible. But the reason I put them on this list is because I was debating between this pair, which cost $105, and another pair that was $39.99. And the reason I chose this pair was because we were at a store that does buy one get one 50% off, and Scott was getting a pair of sneakers. So I wanted a pair of Birkenstocks, but they wouldn't give me the 50% off on the other ones because they were excluded. So I had to buy these to get Scott 50% off on his sneakers. But at the end of the day, it would have costed less money to just get the other pair and not have the 50% off on the sneakers. So instead of paying $85 for two pairs of shoes, I paid $140 for two pairs of shoes, which is just not smart spending. If you watched my 22 goals for 2022 video, you know one of the things I want to do this year is be more intentional with my money, and it's things like this pair of Birkenstocks that make me want to be more intentional with my money. I do love these shoes. If you are in the market for a pair of sandals and want to pay $105 for them, the Birkenstock ones are absolutely phenomenal, but they weren't necessary for me. The next thing on my best purchases, this is random, but they're the American Home Collection sheets, and this was just like a random sheet brand that I found on Amazon. So they say they're deluxe. I don't know if they actually are or not. They're pretty inexpensive. I think these twin sheets had a coupon on them, so they were $16.99, and then we have a pair of queen ones too. So when we wanted Christmas sheets, I wanted microfiber sheets. I just need them. I don't like flannel sheets, and most Christmas sheets are like flannel. So I went on Amazon and just found a pair of green sheets because we had a red pillow and a red blanket. So I was like, perfect, that's Christmas colors, it'll be fine. And ordered the green version of these in a queen size. And we love them so much that I ordered a second pair for the daybed in Scott's office, which is what this is. They need to get washed, but those sheets are absolutely incredible. I will link them down below. They're the best, and for sure one of my best purchases of 2021. Next on my worst purchases list, I am going with this Logitech Crayon. Now, there is nothing wrong with this Logitech Crayon. It's cheaper than the Apple Pencil if it's something you need. The Logitech Crayon itself is great. I just think it was one of my worst purchases this year because I didn't use it a single time. I connected it to the iPad once. I drew a little smiley face in the Notes app, and that was it. So it was a big waste. It was something that I impulse purchased, but these are $95. They're not cheap by any means. And I impulse purchased it over the summer, thinking that for some reason I was gonna like go home from Target that day and design a bunch of stickers and start selling them immediately. I don't know what came over me, but I'm hoping this is something I use more of in 2022. I would like that money to not go to waste, but for the sake of 2021, I would say it was one of my worst purchases. The last thing on my best purchase list, and I unfortunately can't show it to you, but is this camera. I bought myself the Panasonic Lumix G100X, I think is what it is. It's definitely the Panasonic Lumix G100. I just don't know what the letters are at the end. I love this camera. It is phenomenal. I was gonna just go buy the typical like Canon G7X like everybody has, but Scott found this one online for me, and I love it so much. I couldn't picture having anything else. I bought it during a Black Friday sale from B&H Photo in New York City, and I am obsessed. It was extremely expensive. It's not something that's necessary. If you look at my channel, I have 40 subscribers. I did not need to buy a $700 camera, but it also takes great pictures. It allowed me to take a very nice video of my best friend's engagement. So I am so happy at the end of the day that I bought it, and as I continue to learn how to use it, my videos just keep getting better and better, and that's something I really love. So if you're here, thank you for watching. One more thing. The last item on my worst purchases list for this year, and I hate to put this here, and Scott's gonna see this and be like, why are you mad that you bought that? But I have to put on the Gopro Hero 7, the Hero 7 Silver to be exact. I bought this again in impulse purchase. We were about to go to Disney for 2 weeks, and I wanted something better to vlog on. So I got the GoPro so I didn't have to kill my phone battery at the parks, and it was great. Don't get me wrong, I am glad I had it. It didn't murder my phone battery. The videos came out pretty good, but I just wasn't fully satisfied with it, and I spent a lot of money on it to then turn around and just go buy an actual camera. And I kind of wish that I had saved the $300 that I spent on the GoPro and just bought the camera in July when I was thinking about it. But at the end of the day, here we are. I have all the tools now, and what am I going to do about it? I mean, I'll find a way to use the GoPro, I'm sure. That is going to be it for my best and worst purchases of 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you didn't make any dumb financial decisions like mine this year. And here is to a better, more fruitful 2022 for us all. I look forward to filming this video again next year to see if I did any better and if I end up regretting any purchases I make in 2022, even specifically working on that intentional mindset with money management. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.